What's up? Welcome to our first real talk. Today's topic is about training and how it should change or evolve as you age. One of the things I've recognized, especially in a conversation with a client that I had yesterday, was that I think we put these expectations on ourselves that we need to be the same version that we've been at our peak or in our past. So whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, as you age, your training should evolve. And so should your mindset around your expectations with your training. And I thought this was something that, I've been really reflecting on myself, but also super beneficial to talk about collectively, because I think it's easy for us to get caught up in this game of comparing ourselves with everything we see on the internet or what we hear from other people or our own expectations, which are probably the worst based on where we've been in the past. So like my personal story, I played football through college. My prime was probably somewhere between 18 to 28 years old. I turned 35 next week, and I know many of you are like, whatever, you're still young, which is in a lot of ways is true, right? But no matter where you're at in your journey, if you're still in your 20s or if you're in your 50s, 60s, whatever, or somewhere in between, I think it's important to make sure that you are like intentional about your mindset behind what your expectations with training are, but also the way you approach it, right? So when I was like 18 to 28, I was training hard. I was pushing it. I could get after it. I didn't really focus on recovery transparently, as much as I hate to admit it. A lot of it was like driven by ego. And don't get me wrong, I think there's definitely still some of that should be played into it, right? You want to do things that make you feel proud and make you feel like you're kicking ass. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure you preserve the body you have, because it's the only one you get. Unfortunately, it's not one of those deals where like I can drive a car hard and then cash it in for the next new one a couple of years later. The same joints, the same muscles, the same physical body and vehicle we have is the one we have from obviously now through the time that we unfortunately our time would come short on earth, right? And I hate to be morbid about that, but it's one of those things where I think a lot of people don't really like recognize that in the moment, and it's easy to get caught up in the now from a place of comparison in where you were or where you think you should be. So just the message collectively, the real talk message today is like, don't get caught up with where you've been or where you think you should be. Focus on enjoying the process and looking forward to not like, oh, what do I need to achieve? What do I have to do? I need to lose this weight. I need to get this certain PR. Look forward to the process and celebrate where you're at and what you can still do instead of getting caught up on where you used to be, right? If that's something you can relate to, let me know. These are talks that I want to continue to have. They're short, they're quick tidbits, but a lot of mindset focus just to help you make sure that you're staying on the straight and narrow towards the right approach to the way that you're doing things. Because at the end of the day, once again, we've got to be able to evolve our training as we go. We've got to evolve our mindset as we go. And if we get too caught up on things in the past and don't focus on celebrating where we are and celebrating what we're still capable of and being able to maintain and preserve that over a longer period of time, we're not going to be able to enjoy it, and eventually it'll lead to burnout, and then you end up in that cycle of down and then back up and down and back up, and you know how we are. Our goal and our focus is steady climbing, and that's the message for the day. If it resonates with you, let me know. Appreciate it.